Spike, there has been a myth that hath been circulating for some time, nigh on centuries, that moderate drinking has health benefits. You ever hear this?
Of course.
A pint of Guinness a day keeps the doctor away, that kind of thing. What is it? A pint of Jameson a day.
Well, no, a pint of Jameson's a little deep. A glass of wine. How many 100-year-old Italian ladies do you see with a glass of wine in their hand every day? How do you think they got to be 100?
Right, yeah.
It's like you take your liver out for a walk once a day.
So, a new analysis of more than 40 years of research has concluded that many of the studies that people cited were flawed, and that actually the opposite is true. A review found that the risks of dying prematurely increase significantly for women once they drink 25 grams of alcohol a day. Where in America can we? What's 25 grams of alcohol? What is that? A cup?
Well,
2 cups?
I don't know I don't know how to measure liquid in grams. I really don't.
Can somebody?
25. You said 25 grams.
Yeah.
That's 0.8 ounces, or about 0.9
Well, I mean,
ounces.
is liquid volume, weight volume the same? I know there's 28. Don't ask me how I know that there are 28 grams in an ounce.
I got into radio so that I wouldn't have to do math. Can we? I could have, if I wanted to, I could have been a math teacher, right? But I chose to get into radio so that I could avoid things like numbers and figures.
Okay, 25 milliliters should be 25 grams. I believe milliliters and grams are the same.
Okay,
It's almost an ounce, and a shot is an ounce and a half.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, less than 2 standard cocktails containing a shot and a half.
Thank you, Chris Martin, for making it make sense to my
or
stupid
2 12-ounce beers or 2 5-ounce glasses of wine.
Okay, so this is something, Spike, I got to tell you, I quit drinking, when did I quit drinking? Like 10 years ago. I have had on occasion, thank you so much, Andrew. I have had on occasion, I might have a beer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I rarely, like, I was with friends, it was 6 months ago, and they were like, we have this really expensive bottle of wine, you have to try it. I had a quarter of a glass of wine. So I don't really drink anymore. And when I stopped drinking, my mood, my energy levels, the way that I felt, everything just elevated. Now, keep in mind, I was drinking, I don't know how many bottles of wine, how many beers on top of doing heroin and meth and cocaine and every other drug under the sun. But when I quit drinking in particular, I found that my mood increased many times over. I don't know how somebody could end the day with a couple glasses of wine at this point, and I sound like such a lightweight, but I don't know how someone could polish off a couple of beers, go to sleep, wake up the next morning and be, fresh as a daisy. I just don't, I can't do it. If I drink, I feel gross. I go, ew, my tummy hurts. I just don't want to be involved with it.
I hear you. And moderation is different on every woman. It smells different on every woman who wears it, right? Isn't that the old I mean, seriously, because you talk about your metabolism, your body size, yada, yada.
Right.
It's always been a given that folks who, drink I think even 2 drinks, 2 bottles of beer a night, they say that's moderate. I don't know. I think that's a little more than moderate. 2 5-ounce glasses of wine. I guess that's our standard glass of wine is a 5-ounce glass of wine. 2 glasses of wines, maybe a little bit more than moderate. I think if you had half that, it might. I really did believe. That's what I'd always heard. When you use your organs and you exercise them literally through use on a daily basis, they stay strong and live longer.
Yeah, so this one, just in reading this study, it says the new report, which analyzed more than 100 studies of almost 5 million adults, was not designed to develop drinking recommendations, but to correct for methodological problems that plagued many of the older observational studies. Those reports consistently found that moderate drinkers were less likely to die of all causes, including those not related to alcohol consumption. Is anybody a drinker right now in studio? Chris Martin, you putting back a little bit of Grandpa's old cough medicine?
Yeah, I drink like once or twice a week.
Okay, all right. And you have no adverse side effects. You're not,
No, but I was just thinking when you guys were talking about this, people always tell everyone they drink way less than they do. Like, I'll just have 2 or 3. That always means 5.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's how Trump measures crowds, too. If the press said there were 20,000, of course there were 40,000.
I think everyone knows drinking more than 1 drink is not going to be good for you, but that's not why you do it. You're not having drinks for health benefits. You're doing it for mental reasons or to relax or whatever.
Anti-anxiety, stress relief. Yeah, it's true.
Well, but my whole thing, and maybe it's because I just don't live in that world anymore, is that when I was drinking, I just felt awful all the time. I just felt terrible unless I was drinking. And then I felt great. You know what I mean? But
during flight, you're wonderful at when you land.
Right. And I never did like I never pulled a Mel Gibson or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I never drove. I never yelled at anybody. I never made anti-Semitic comments to a cop. But when I was drinking, I'm known to spin a yarn or two. But when I was drinking, I'd been to the moon. Basically, I would tell any lie that came across my mind to try. I would tell any story, make up anything about my life. I don't know what it was, but when I'm not drinking, I am the most honest and most transparent human being on the planet. When I do drink, all of a sudden, yeah, Burt Reynolds is my dad. Yeah, but my dad's Burt Reynolds. You know what I mean?
Can't you see the resemblance?
Can't you see the resemblance? I mean, basically twins at this point in time. I would just say stuff, and people think that that's a joke, but I would literally just say stuff while being unbelievably drunk, and then the next day someone would be like, yeah, did you guys know that Jack's dad is Burt Reynolds? You know what I mean? It was a bizarre thing that I did, and so I'm glad that I stepped away from it so I don't have that weird part of myself be agitated or aggravated to such a degree so that people think that, I don't know, that Marlon Brando once gave me a ride to the Burbank airport. Can you do a Brando, Spike?
Get in the back of the car and take on the airport. What's your gate name? Where are you flying with? Sitting in my cab in a date to toast to leave the state of California, don't even think to bring me a gift. Treat me with such disrespect. By the way, they say that red wine will contribute to cancers of the breast, esophagus, heart, head, and neck. AFib, they say.
It's such a good brand.
Arrhythmia and arterial defibrillation.
Well, but can you do the Brando without the cotton balls, though?
Why would you?
All right. When we get back, local kids have decided to do walkouts to protest gun violence, and also got more school cuts coming around. Spike O'Neill has some hot takes on that. We'll take a really quick break. We'll be right back right after this.